Hi and welcome to my channel where I review clean, non-toxic fragrances. All of the products that I review here I find on the EWG or Environmental Working Group database, which I will link down below. And I'm on my search for a signature scent, so join me as I talk about my latest natural, non-toxic fragrance finds. So today I'm going to be reviewing the Just the Goods perfume oil in 3 different scents. Just the Goods is a Canadian small business, and I truly love this company. They make a lot of beauty products, all natural and non-toxic and surprisingly affordable. And I've ordered their body scrubs before and I really like them. And they have 8 different perfume oils. I ordered 3. I ordered Spicy Nights, Steamy Dreamy, and Neroli and Ylang. And these are all vegan, EWG verified, meaning that they meet the strictest standards for health and safety. They come in these little glass 7 milliliter bottles. It does come with this little card with some instructions, and it says to store these products in a cool, dark and dry place, and to use them up within 4 to 6 months for the best quality. There isn't really an applicator on this bottle. You just kind of dab it onto the skin, but that works just fine. I do believe that there are sample sizes that are smaller than this that you can order if you want to just kind of see how some of these smell. But yeah, let's kind of get into the fun part, which is what each of these smells like. I'm gonna start with Spicy Nights here. So the description on the website says Spicy Nights is a sensual tryst involving the aphrodisiac effects of ylang and cinnamon and the energetic freshness of sweet orange. And true to the description, the ingredients include sweet orange oil, cinnamon leaf, and ylang flower oil. So when I sniff the bottle, it smells very sweet and slightly exotic. I think it reminds me almost like, you know, when you open a stick of cinnamon gum and you're sniffing it and it's both kind of sugary sweet, but there's a slight sharp cinnamon scent as well. And then I think after that initial smell, you kind of detect whiffs of orange, kind of citrusy. Now, oil-based perfumes like this, they do interact with your body chemistry. So when you dab it on the skin, it will smell a little bit different than it does in the bottle. And it will also smell a little different person to person. So when this is on my wrist, I don't smell, I don't quite get as much of the sharp cinnamon. I think for me, I detect much more of like the creamy kind of custardy ylang scent. A little floral as well. When I sniff this, I am reminded of jasmine a little bit, which is, you know, the ylang has that scent in it. But then honestly, I can't really detect any base notes, unfortunately, because this scent doesn't really last long enough on the skin for a base note to be noticeable, at least to my unprofessional nose. And that's an issue that I will delve into more later in the video. But the next scent we have here is Steamy Dreamy, which is described as softly floral, carries you into another world, a soft and romantic space between ethereal imagination and corporeal bliss. And the ingredients of this one include lavender oil and ylang flower oil. So let's open it up here. So when I sniff this bottle, it smells like lavender essential oil. But there is something a little bit sharp that's kind of lifting the scent and like making it more spring-like. It almost reminds me of a lemongrass and lily of the valley, but if I'm thinking realistically about what the ingredients are in here, I think what I'm probably detecting is like the citrusy, jasmine-y Ylang Ylang. When I put this one on my skin, I know from experience, it is barely detectable, not gonna lie. I don't know if that is just like my skin chemistry, but this one is very, very, very subtle on the skin. Like maybe I smell slightly sweeter, but it's not something that anybody outside of me is going to notice, and that's just kind of the unfortunate reality of that one. And then this last one is Neroli and Ylang Ylang. I didn't really realize that my 3 choices were also Ylang Ylang forward. I kind of wish I had varied my picks a little bit more, but this one is described as romantic, a love affair between 2 deeply smoldering florals. And the ingredients, which are true to the name, they contain neroli oil, which I had to look up what that is. It comes from the blossom of the bitter orange tree, and Ylang Ylang flower oil. And this one, the scent feels a little bit darker. It's floral in almost like a medicinal way. I was thinking the other day that I almost smelled like Vicks VapoRub in there, like just like a little whiff, and that doesn't really make sense for what the actual ingredients are, but I imagine it's probably like the jasmine in the Ylang Ylang. But I can smell the kind of sweet creaminess, the custardy kind of scent that I got from the first fragrance too, but there's something like really bitter and woody about a certain part of this that I can't quite put my finger on. And when I put it on my skin, it's basically just like a slightly subtler version of what I can smell in the bottle. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about the projection and the staying power on these perfumes. In other words, do these work? So the projection on these perfumes is very small. So small, in fact, that I have to bring my wrist right up to my nose to get a good sense of the complexities. You know, I can faintly smell, I put spicy nights on my wrist earlier in the video, and like I can faintly smell it when my wrist is down here in front of me, but really no one is going to be smelling this on you from across a room. I doubt that anyone will even smell this on you from across a conference table or a dinner table, to be perfectly honest. But you will smell it on yourself for at least a little while, and someone can smell it if they're very close, like if your hand is near their face, basically. The staying power, meaning how long this can be smelled on your body, is also very short. Like, I have tested this kind of informally, and I've stopped being able to smell, after I put it on my wrist, I've stopped being able to smell it in the air within about 30 minutes. And I stopped being able to smell it, you know, by pressing my nose up against my wrist after about an hour, which isn't very useful on a night out. If I put something on my wrist before bed, I certainly would not smell it at all upon waking up. And I did find in the FAQ section on the Just the Goods website an acknowledgement by the company that plant-based perfume ingredients, such as essential oils, do not last long on the skin due to their very nature, like the science of it. That is literally why synthetic fragrances were invented in the first place. And the company kind of says ultimately that we as consumers kind of need to reduce our expectations around plant-based perfume oils like this. She says, many have asked if there is a way to make plant-based perfumes last longer, but I don't know of a safe and effective way to do this without synthetic intervention. However, she does have a few tips that we can try. Trick number one that she suggests is applying an unscented beeswax lip balm as like a primer to the areas that you'd like to apply the scent. Because beeswax kind of acts like a physical barrier, preventing the oil from being absorbed into the skin. Because that's what I'm learning. That is why the scent disappears, is because our skin absorbs it so quickly. And I tried this. I didn't have lip balm on hand that was unscented, but I had a piece of beeswax that I took from a candle. And I kind of applied it enough so that there was like a sticky residue that I could feel. And then I applied perfume on top of that. I didn't really find that it made that much of a difference with the staying power. Certainly not enough of a difference to be worth spending the time like layering things in this way. But, you know, you can give that a try if you want. Trick number two is applying this perfume oil to the hair rather than to the skin. And that's because it won't absorb and disappear into the hair in the same way it will easily do into the skin. I tried this as well. I put some drops of Neroli and Ylang on a hairbrush and I ran it through my hair. And I would say this did work scent-wise. But unfortunately it made my hair look immediately oily. So this might work well for you if you have a different hair type than I do. But unfortunately it made my hair just oily. I mean, maybe you could use it more sparingly than I did, or just put it on the undersides of your hair where it won't show. With this trick, I do believe that the scent will stick around much longer and people would have a better chance of smelling it on you when they're close by. But yeah, I did have a greasy factor. So my final thoughts on these, are these going to become my signature scent, any of them? Out of these three, I think Spicy Nights was by far my favorite. It kind of smelled the most like me. I tend to enjoy vanilla scents, and this one had a kind of a creaminess to it that really scratched that itch for me. Ultimately, I don't think that I will be using this on a regular basis or buying more, however, because of the short staying power. The hair trick was certainly valuable, and I will be experimenting with that more in the future, but I don't want greasy hair, and it just kind of seems like it's not the perfect fit for me. I do really still love this company though, and I will be buying other beauty products from them in the future, just probably not more perfume. One exception is that I am intrigued by the Wild Woods scent, which I didn't buy. She said on the website that Wild Woods is a little bit more complex and reflects the principles of perfumery, while some of these other scents, like the ones I tried, reflect more aromatherapy practices. So that is intriguing me. Maybe I'll try it someday. Maybe one of you guys can try it and let me know how it is. But yeah, thank you for watching. I am going to keep trying and reviewing clean, non-toxic fragrances, and let me know in the comments which one you think I should try. In the meantime, thank you for watching. Bye.